Hey guys, what is up? Excoundrel here. I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded a video in about 5 days. I was away in Spain working on a League of Legends event, and unfortunately I couldn't take my video editing stuff with me, which meant I couldn't get a video out. So I rushed back to the office today. I got in really late last night, and I had a couple of hours to put together something, so I came up with this. Now this is a simple video, not going to see much of the flashy editing that I usually do. It's just to teach you guys about how I improved my own CSing ability in Vainglory. Now, going to start with Gold Rush. Now, Gold Rush is, in the way that I learned, it's a great tool that the Vainglory app gives you to practice your CS and gives you something to work for in terms of a time value. The time value that you want to hit is 3 minutes. That's what gives you the 3 stars. If you can get the Gold Rush completed in 3 minutes, you're in a really good position to go into ranked as a laner, having pretty solid CS abilities. Now, you get given Ringo. You want to take an hourglass and an energy battery. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to basically make it as hard as possible to last hit. That's the way you train the best. If you can do it when you've got no weapon blade, it's going to be far, far easier when you do have a weapon blade. So that's the first piece of advice when you go into Gold Rush. Don't buy any weapon power. You want to make it as hard as possible. This is the hyperbolic time chamber of Vainglory CS practice. Now, when it comes to actually last hitting the minions, especially in this mode, what I do is I do as if I'm pushing lane. So I'm going to go attack the ranged minion at the back. It's a free CS. I don't want to help my own minions kill until I can seek the last hit, or just help them along, for instance, when they're taking over the big dude. So when the big dude is on fire, then maybe you want to start trying to get the last hits there to try and force it. But for the most part, I don't actually hit the minions that my minions are already attacking. That's because they will do the work for me, and by hitting it, I actually make it harder for myself to land the CS. I want to go to the back and deal with the ranged minion because it's free, no one's attacking it, I know I'm going to guarantee a CS from it, and it also means it's the one that deals the most damage to my wave, and I want to push the wave to turret as quickly as possible. Not only does that mean it makes it easier to CS, but it also puts pressure on your enemy turret in lane, which is really good. You want to be able to push lane. There's obviously multiple lane mechanics, which I will talk about, but pushing lane, generally the way you do it is you take the ranged minion out first and then you focus on the rest. The ranged minion generally deals the most damage. It is the one that pushes the wave hardest, so if you want your enemy lane to not push, you kill the ranged minion. Now in this mode you can see I just start basic attack the minions as soon as they come towards me in turret. It makes it easier to get them down. I really want to hit that 3-minute mark, especially with that weapon blade, so getting extra damage in before they crash into my own minion wave is really important. And again, I'm going to make sure that I'm pushing those ranged minions out as quickly as I can because they are the ones that deal the most damage. Now don't be afraid to use your abilities to clear CS as well. You can see I've used Achilles shot on time to time, so I use the Achilles shot just to finish up the CS because sometimes I have to weave that in between a basic attack, and using it also helps me push the lane if I use it to just chunk down some health on specific minions. So you can see I've really focused on just trying to push the lane as hard as I can, and that's the best way to achieve the best time in this game mode. And then you can see here, I'm pretty much close to finished. I'm just going to go straight for the ranged minion. It's the easiest to kill, deals the most damage, like I said, and bam! Gold Rush done in 2 minutes 56 without a weapon blade. And if you do that, going into ranked, you'll be in a really good position to just focus on CSing. The other time that I like to practice is how do I practice dealing with my enemy minion wave under my turret. So how do I last hit when my turret is also attacking the minion wave? Well, the best way to practice this is by going into practice mode, and you want to get your enemy minion wave to shove towards you. Now, to guarantee that, what you do is you push your minion wave really hard. You don't have to worry about getting last hits, but it's always good to practice. Push your minion wave really hard into the enemy turret. Then, as the enemy minion wave comes towards your own wave, don't attack it. Just let it do its thing. Let the enemy minion wave attack your wave, and the turret and your enemy minion wave will eventually clear your own minion wave out. So obviously what's going to happen is your minions are going to get confused. They're not sure who they want to attack. They'll start attacking the minions when they step in front of the turret, and then sometimes they'll attack the turret. What this means is that the enemy minion wave will build up a couple of minion advantage, maybe 2 or 3, sometimes even 4. And then when your wave gets cleared by turret, the enemy minion wave will have an advantage in terms of numbers. And when the enemy minion wave has an advantage in terms of numbers, that is where you are going to see it shove towards you. Count how many times I said minion and wave in that last section, by the way. So obviously then you're going to want to just try and thin the wave out as much as possible. You don't want to have like a ridiculous wave coming in. And obviously in ranked this also helps. You just want to make sure it's pushing towards you just enough so that when it gets to the turret, you aren't having to deal with a huge amount of minions crashing to the turret. Because actually, CSing under turret can be pretty difficult, especially when you add your own minion wave coming into the mix. Your minions will start to attack, your turret will start to attack, and it will make it very awkward when trying to find last hits under turret. Now, when it comes to the minions, let's talk about how many turret shots they take. The small minions, especially the ranged ones, will take one turret shot to get it to within last hit range, and 2 turret shots for a kill. So 2 turret shots will kill and cause you not to be able to get that minion as a last hit, and 1 turret shot should generally set you up. If you don't have a weapon blade, the forward melee minions, the small ones, they often need a basic attack before the turret hits them and then a basic attack afterwards. But the ranged minions only need 1 after the turret has hit them. The big brutes, they take 4 turret shots to kill without your minion wave attacking them. So if they are just getting hit by the turret alone, they take 4 shots to kill, which means after 3 shots, they are set up for a last hit. Sometimes this gets confusing though. If you watch here, sometimes it can get a little bit confusing because that's not going to survive 3 hits, so you have to do a little bit of extra work. It's always all about judging how many they take. So you'll eventually see that sometimes the big brutes are going to take 2 because my minion wave are doing a bit of damage, and then I'm going to step in to try and burst them out. But if you see in a second, this big brute, he's not getting attacked by anything else. He'll take 3 shots, and then I clear it. This one will take 1 shot, then I clear it. This one will take 1 shot, then I clear it. And you can see sometimes your minion wave makes this hard for you. But essentially, 1 hit onto the small minions, and then you hit it. 3 hits onto the big minions, and then you hit it. When your minion wave comes in, 2 hits onto the big minions, and then you need to try and force the kill before the tower does. And sometimes you might just end up losing a couple of the little ones because that's hard to do. So you've got to judge. If the little one is on below 3/4 HP and a turret hits it, it's not going to survive. If it's above that, you might actually get the opportunity to burst it down. So if you see especially if you see a small minion below half HP, burst it down before the turret hits it. But in general, the rule of thumb is 3 hits onto a brute and then go for the last hit. 1 hit onto a small minion, then go for the last hit. If your minion wave is there, sometimes it can get messy. The brutes, you often have to try and get the kill after 2 turret hits because your minion wave is doing a bit of damage too. And sometimes when your minion wave damages the forward melee minions, the best thing you can do is try and kill it before the turret hits it at all, especially if they're below half HP. So that's the best way to practice. And it will come with experience as well, guys. That's the way you set it up, and then just keep setting it up, practicing like that. I'm nearly at 10k, so nearly at the 10k ice giveaway, and we'll be doing hopefully some user and subscriber submitted things to analyze, and also some more announcements about my crossover stuff with other YouTubers soon. See you soon, guys.